In the beginning of the story, our protagonist Seo Junho in the Earth area's final boss monster encountered the Frost Queen, and insulting him how he abandoned his comrades to die just to be here, as he replied that his companions are not the one who die easily, and it would be over once he kill her. The Frost Queen laughed and told our protagonist that he is ignorant about this world. As Seo Junho, angry, shout at her to shut up and begin to attack and start to fight. The Frost Queen also start to fight, and in the end, our protagonist barely sucked in killing the Frost Queen. Immediately a system show our protagonist a message that he is absorbing Frost Queen power that shock Seo Junho, and his body will go into hibernation until he fully absorbed the Frost Queen's nucleus. Flashback 76 hours ago in Antarctica, which the final dungeon is located. There, Kali, one of the companions of our protagonist, angrily complained as only one person can go upstairs. Skaya, the light blue hair girl, calmly decide that our protagonist should be the one to go, and the man also agree with her as they are at disadvantage to go against ice-based abilities, except Seo Junho. Finally, Kay accept the decision as the black hair girl also agreed. Seo Junho, also known as Spectre, asked his companions if they would regret their decisions, but they told him that they trust him, and they know that they will not die in vain, and that Spectre can do this. But in the end, our protagonist, feeling deeply sorry to his comrades before losing consciousness. 25 years later, year 2024, in a museum, a host explaining to everyone of 5 heroes, called the Nest Attack Team, bring hope to everyone by defeating the Frost Queen. Thus appeared numerous safe zone on Earth, and make it the greatest achievement in history. The 5 heroes' frozen statue shown inside the reinforced glass wall while the host talking. When a young man notice and shout that the frozen statue move on its own while the host ignore and doesn't believe the young man at first. When the frozen ice that held our protagonist for 25 years got broken and release our protagonist. And as you can see, a system message that the absorption rate is 100%, and congratulates the player and inform him that the Frost Queen nucleus is completely absorbed, which also gain him a new skill, the Frost EX. Everyone shock of what happened, while our protagonist is cold and confused. The return of Spectre, our protagonist, are all around in the front page news. Spectre in a hospital bed, scrolling at his phone, looking at the news about him, feeling shocked that it's been 25 years since then and he's been frozen for a long time, that his whole body feels weak and he can barely grip his hand, and that his body's still shaking. A doctor with the 2-person with him called our protagonist and informed him that the president of the Player Association is on his way. Spectre then asks if it is someone he know, and that he don't want to talk to someone he doesn't know and don't want to be disturbed. But he replied back that the person always talk about that our protagonist was his close friend. He thought that there's not a lot of people who will call him his friend, and thanks the doctor and think that he will know once they meet. Since the world now is peaceful, he thought he will be unemployed. He decided to take off his mask, which the doctor shocked and asked why, and he replied since the world is peaceful, he don't need to put the mask and be a hero anymore, since it's not needed. The doctor flustered and wanted to reply when the visitor appeared and would like to explain. The person came called Deok Gu by our protagonist and wanted to talk with Seo Junho alone. Our protagonist is happy that Deok Gu voice is still the same, which Deok Gu replied that Spectre is look exactly the same as 25 years ago. Spectre then notice and make fun of Deok Gu pattern baldness and laugh at him. Deok Gu respond that Spectre naughty nature is expected as he knew that he's always like this and stopped to expect a touching reunion. Spectre then asks seriously why the doctor are shocked a while ago when he thought that it's all over. Then Deok Gu explained that 25 years ago, the moment Spectre team cleared the Queen's nest, all player heard the same exact message and everyone across the world rejoiced. But it didn't last for even a minute when a message that a second floor appear and wished the player to be strong until the final floor. After that, the players of the world, the association and politicians gathered a large meeting. After the long meeting, they sent an expedition squad to the frontier in Pacific Ocean, which the dimensional elevator is located. The second floor described as a land of opportunities and that humanity can obtain new magic and technology and gain an access to a large amount of resources and knowledge and that now makes the earth wealthy. Deok Gu mentioned that there are 10 floors in the dimensional elevator. Spectre think that since it's took them 5 years to clear the queen nest, and he is expecting that in 25 years if they cleared 5 floors, they should be in 7th floor. But since the rest of the players were far weaker in comparison to them, probably they would be on 5th floor. Spectre asked what floor, and Deok Gu awkwardly answered that until now, only 2nd floor is cleared. That makes Spectre faint in anger, but still listen to Deok Gu's reason. He explained that 3rd floor is a volcanic region that need the Frost Queen nucleus. They were able to find an altar in the middle of lave that requires the Frost Queen nucleus to cool down the environment. Deok Gu ashamed that until now, they still didn't find the nucleus, thus cannot cleared the 3rd floor. Spectre shock and thinking that it's what expected since he absorbed the nucleus and calmly advise his friend that everyone makes mistake including him in the future and that he should be more understanding to him in the future, which Deok Gu agree. After the discussion and talk about other things, Deok Gu decided to go home. Spectre decided to go at the Seoul History Museum, and Deok Gu advised him that the 1st floor of the hospital is crawling with reporters and not convenient to go together. He also remind our protagonist to come right back at the hospital once he's done, which Spectre agree. At the entrance, Spectre successfully entered the History Museum and found his friend's frozen statue. He walked closely and crossed it in front of the statues and prepare 5 cups with alcohol. He told them that the world is a better place now. He respectfully raise a cup and toast to them and drink. Spectre, while talking to his friends, noticed that one of his comrades' head are coated of dust. He immediately cleaned the dust by his hand and shock that a message appeared that he has Frost X skills and right now with insufficient magic stat, he cannot use it to remove the seal of his friends.